Hey guys, I just want to come to you and talk about a blog post that we just posted, but this is kind of my section on what it's like. First off, I'll just start off. I always get the question, does it drive you crazy to work with your wife and you live with her and you guys are always with each other? Does that ever get old? And truthfully, no. No, it doesn't. It definitely helps that you like your wife. I mean, it's kind of important if you're going to work with her. But no, absolutely not. Now, is it hard at times, or does it are there times where it's like tensions rise, and of course, absolutely. Every couple is going to have an argument or two. But these are my techniques for not having those tensions, that argument that you had in the kitchen, to carry over to the boardroom, which is so crucial in business. You can't let emotions get into it as much as possible. You got to keep those separate. And these are a couple of my techniques. First and foremost, you have to remember why you married your wife. I mean, you have to remember that you loved her before, or loved your husband before you even got into business, that you were a couple. And remember, don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget, why you started this, or why you started this marriage. Why are you together? And that it was a conscious decision to start a business. And know that there's inherently going to be times that it's going to affect it, and you just need to be a professional, I guess, about it, and not let that carry over. Or at least here are some other techniques. My big one is knowing your role in the company. Kayla is almost 100% all administrative. She takes care of scheduling, all sorts of different things. I mean, she wears a lot of hats. Whereas I'm production. Everything that you see being made in the bags and the sticker, everything that goes into production, that's me. And we know our roles. So if there are tensions, if an argument did happen, which usually is like Kayla told me to do something 9,000 times, I'm just now doing it. You've got to be able to go and do your job. That you can shut off that argument, or just put it aside while you're cooling off and go do your job. Like, I put my head down and I just, produce tea, make stuff, make whatever we need. Kayla will go to the computer and get stuff done. You still need to be productive. You can't just shut it down and walk out and just forget about the business. The business doesn't care whether you got in an argument. Your customers don't care. You have to smile. Excuse me. You have to smile. You have to put on the face. If you get an argument before a show, if you get an argument before anything, whatever you're doing, whatever your business is, we don't care as a customer. Your customers don't care. You've got to be able, the show has to go on. So know your role, be very specific, talk to each other about what your roles are in the company, and just know and give yourself tasks. I mean, don't rely on the other person either. Give yourself tasks, and learn what they're doing too. So if you need to step in and do something or whatever it is, but be very specific on your roles, and take your roles very specific, very to heart, and do the best to your ability. And that way, if there are any kind of fights or anything, that you can just kind of get lost in your work. And lastly, and most importantly, it sounds cliche, but make each other laugh. You gotta laugh. Laugh at each other, laugh at yourself, laugh with each other, at each other. Just, you've got to be able to melt away those stresses of the day. You can't take yourself too seriously. You've got to be able to laugh at a situation. It's easy to have a healthy marriage when the chips are up and you're doing really well and you're successful and everything, but it is increasingly more difficult and pertinent that you love each other and laugh, and when things are going terrible. When Hurricane Irma came through, we didn't work for a month. And for a small business, that is hard. not being able to work for a month, and that there's other, I'm not taking away from all the victims that really got devastated, but I'm just saying for us, that's hard, and money was tight, but we laugh, you got to be able to just love each other, and I understand we're still in the honeymoon stage of our wedding, of our marriage, and this is the early days of our business, so we should be having a lot of fun, but it it doesn't matter. Tensions rise, things happen. You've got to be able to communicate your roles. You got to be able to talk. Remember why you got into this. Remember why you married that person. Love the person. Look at the person. Talk to the person like a wife or a husband before anything. Don't be afraid to call them baby. You gotta be a husband first or a wife first. And then lastly, you gotta laugh. You gotta take a lot of things seriously, but this is a marriage too. You gotta be flexible. You gotta laugh at each other. You gotta laugh things off. Realize people aren't perfect. So I don't know if this 6-minute video helps or anything, or if you guys care, but I just think that it's important for any couple that's trying to get into business with each other, trying to do something together, to create a technique or create something that's unique to you, that's going to work for your marriage and anything. But this is what kind of works for us. I'm a big goofball. I love making her laugh. I think I fell in love with her smile and her laugh from day one, and I love to see it. So I'll make her laugh every day if I can. But it's also a way for us to kind of connect and to just be each other, be with each other, and just know your role too. So that's another, just so you can do your work. Anyways, I'm rambling. Thank you guys for listening, and feel free to comment or whatever. I'd love to hear any more techniques, and go to tnationusa.com, pick up your favorite blends. Mr. T is awesome. Alright guys.